I refused to let my stepson return home without punishment after he ruined my daughter's book collection. What I discovered later made me realize the books were just the beginning of his campaign to drive my daughter away. My daughter Emma is 13 and autistic. She's incredibly smart, but struggles with changes and social situations. Her one comfort is her collection of graphic novels. Over 60 books she's organized by publisher, series, and release date. My stepson Jake is 15. When I married his mom 2 years ago, he seemed okay with Emma. Not close, but polite enough. That changed about 6 months ago when Emma started getting better grades than him. Jake's been struggling in school, and I think seeing his younger stepsister excel made him resentful. It started small. He'd move one of Emma's books out of order, knowing it would upset her routine. When she'd have a meltdown trying to fix it, he'd act innocent. "I was just looking at it," he'd tell his mom. I didn't know she'd freak out. Last week, I came home from work to find Emma having a complete breakdown in her room. Her entire bookshelf was destroyed. Not knocked over, but systematically torn apart. Jake was in his room with his door closed, music playing loudly. Emma could barely speak through her tears. He said my books were stupid and I was stupid for caring about them so much. When I confronted Jake, he gave me this cold smile. I tripped and knocked into her shelf. Accidents happen. But the books weren't just damaged from falling. Pages were torn out deliberately. Covers were ripped off. Some were even torn in half. I told Jake he needed to replace every single book with his own money, or he could stay at his dad's house until he figured out how to make this right. His mom thought I was overreacting. "They're just books," she said. He said he was sorry, but they weren't just books to Emma. They were her safe space, her special interest, her way of dealing with anxiety. Jake chose to go to his dad's. I thought that would be the end of it. 3 days later, Emma came to me with something that changed everything. "Dad, I need to show you something." She led me to her room and opened her desk drawer. Inside were printed screenshots of text messages. Jake had been texting his friends, making fun of Emma's autism, calling her the freak, sharing videos he'd secretly taken of her stimming, planning ways to make her have meltdowns. "Look for weird sounds," one message said. "She loses it when things are too loud. It's hilarious." Another message. "If I make the autistic girl crazy enough, maybe my mom will realize she married the wrong guy." My hands started shaking as I read them. Emma had been screenshot these for weeks, too scared to tell me. The book destruction wasn't random anger. It was calculated psychological warfare against a child with autism. I called Jake's dad immediately. "He's not coming back, ever." When my wife got home, I showed her the messages. She went white, then started crying. "I didn't know," she kept saying. "I thought he was just adjusting to having a sister." We sat down with Emma that night and apologized for not protecting her sooner. She'd been dealing with months of targeted bullying while we treated it like normal sibling rivalry. My wife called Jake and told him what we'd found. His response? "You guys can't prove I sent those," but the phone records could, and did, when we had to file a report with the school about the videos he'd taken without Emma's consent. Jake ended up staying with his dad permanently. His mom visits him there now, but our house is Emma's safe space again. We rebuilt her book collection, but more importantly, we rebuilt her trust that the adults in her life would protect her. Last week, Emma hugged me and said, "Thank you for believing me when I couldn't find the words to tell you what was really happening." Sometimes what looks like typical teenage behavior is actually calculated cruelty. The difference matters.